thing is that the fundamental difference in case of variable which you have started with, it was something like one values. But here you can find that the values are not single one. It is more than one values. Say color, in a conventional way, I could have expressed it as color equal to red. But something color is not a single color. Colors are 7 colors. I have picked up 3 colors. So when you are handling more than one values for a particular variable, it is better to represent it in the form of a list. That's what we have done it here. I have defined a variable called color, and it represents 3 colors here: red, blue, and green. So I like to check it out, what color gives me for this moment. Yes, what I have defined, it is giving me the same result. Now I want to check the variable type. So I put the common type color, and let us see. Yes. My screen is visible. All right.
I don't see your screen.
Okay, fine. So I think what I have said about list, it have you heard it, or should I repeat it? So as you see, I have tried to check the nature of this type of this variable color. So I have type color, it is giving me the answer list. So this particular variable color, which I have defined it as red, blue, green, this belongs to a category called list. Now, how I will address individual elements of this list? The way I should do it, color within bracket index positions. The first position is 0, second one is 1, third one is 2. So this is how I have defined, and let us see, do they really represent? Yes, it has done it. Color within index 0, it is red, it is coming answer red. Color index 1, blue, yes, it is coming blue. Color index 2, green, it is giving me the green. So this is how you have to define a list. And if you want to access individual element of a list, this is how you have to write it. Now there is a way. Suppose you want that no, the second element of the list should not be blue, it should be orange. So what you will do, you will write color, second index means 1. So you write orange, and then you see whether change has taken place or not. So run it and see. Yes, earlier your list was red, blue, green. Now second elements you have changed to orange. Now the list has become red, orange, and green. So this is how you can modify the list also. So this particular characteristic, it is called, it is list is mutable. That is, you can change as it is required. Now, suppose you have created a list with 3 elements. Earlier it was red, blue, green. Now second position blue has been changed by orange. So it stands now red, orange, and green. Suppose you want to add a color called blue. So how will you do it? So this is the simple syntax. Your list is color dot append. What you want to append? Color blue. So append within bracket, you write blue. Then you see whether this change has taken place or not. Yes, blue has also come into the list. So this is how you can create the list. This is how you can access the individual elements of the list. If you want to change any element of the list, just write it this way. And if you want to add some more elements into the list, just put the syntax append. So this is how you can modify the list also. So this is the simple things about the list. Now, sometimes you have to create a empty list. Just like we go for shopping, we take an empty bag and we put on elements into the bag. This is the situation like this, because many programs, you want to create a list, and during the time of running the code, the elements that will be evaluated, that you want to put it in your list. Situation is similar like this. If I can give you an example after this lecture or the 4th day, then I can demonstrate this one. But for the moment, I have defined an empty list called fruits. An empty list is defined like this: square bracket, but nothing is there inside. That means it is an empty list. Now I want to put the first element as banana. So I write it as fruits dot append banana, and I want to see what exactly it has taken place. I'll check it later, or I can give a live demonstration also. Okay, say for example fruits. I create an empty list and I want to add some fruits in it. Fruits dot append first element. I want to put first fruit banana, and I want to check it what exactly is now my fruit list. So I have created an empty list. I have put an element banana. Now my list is only one element called banana. Now I want to add some more fruits in my list. So I write fruits dot append. Say next element I want to put mango. And I want to check it out what my list stands now. Fruits. Yes, now there are two elements, two kind of fruits, banana and mango. So this is how, if you want to put another kind of fruits, say apple, orange also you want to put it here and check what is now your fruit list. Sorry. So orange has also come into the list. So this is how you can modify your list. You can create an empty list and you can keep on putting the elements one by one into the list as required. So that's all for the moment about the list. So list manipulations, how you can manipulate a list. Suppose I create a list called L, which is the first 10 natural numbers. So I have created a list from 1 to 10 and it belongs to the class list. So how I can manipulate the list? If I write L within bracket colon -1, what does it represent? It represents all the elements into the list except the last one. If I want to pick up second to the 7th element, one thing you remember, 7 will not be included. It will go up to 2nd to 6th element. So if you want to pick up 2nd to 6th element, you have to write 2 colon 7. So here you see second element is, this is 0, 1, 2. So 3, from 3 it will start. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to 7 it has been taken. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are your modified list. So if you want to pick up from second element to the 6th element, you have to write 2 colon 7. Now if you want to pick up your list or modify your list this way, that you want to take from first element to the 9th element, but in a step of 2. Then you have to write it first element, last element. 9 will not be taken, of course. Suppose you want to take up to 8, then you have to write 9. But you cannot exceed the list. What is the step? Second, 2 suppose. So it will jump 1 elements. So this, it will pick up 2, 4, 6, 8. So first one will be 2, then 1 gap 4, then 1 gap 6, then 1 gap 8. Last element it will not take. Now this will represent, that is, you want to take all the elements with the step of 2. So you have to write it this colon 2. So it is taking everything 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That is the gap of 2 it is maintaining. All right. Now this is one kind of list I have written here. Elements that
Sir,
first
I have one
element is
question.
a number, is an integer. Yes. Pardon? Carry on.
Actually, sir,
Please carry on.
how to remove one element from a list? Sir, how to
coming.
remove one
This is
element
there
from a
also.
list?
Good question. I got it. I am answering your question.
Okay, sir.
Please wait. So now here you
Okay,
see
sir.
I have created a list
Okay, sir.
list of elements. It is a mixed type. This is a number, integer. This will be string. This is a floating point variable, floating point number. This is a complex number. So it is a mixed variety. So I can create a list of mixed variety. That means lists are inhomogeneous in character. So if I want to print it, it will give as it is. So just keep it in mind. I have said right now I can create a list of inhomogeneous character, which is totally different from array, because when we discuss array, you will find that arrays are homogeneous character. If it is a character, if it is a nature of integers, all the elements should be integers in the array. But list may be of any type. So again, Python list can be arbitrarily nested. Just for the sake of interest, I'm writing it, but there is no relevance at this moment. I find it for the moment. So it is something like this. This is important for you. That is how to create a list. Suppose you are creating a for loops or something like this, and you want to create a list of elements, say from 1 to 100 or 1000, something like this. It is not possible for you to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 100. It is not advisable. But there is a function called range. By using the function range, you can create as many as numbers as you want for the sake of your programs. The syntax is starting number, end number, and the step size that you want to maintain. Here is an example. Suppose you want to create number from 10 to 100 with a step size of 10. So you write start, stop, step, and write range. Then this will be written like this. But here is an interesting fact. When I run it, it is just giving you range something like this. The reason is that range is an iterator. So that is why it is not giving you the list. So you have to typecast it and convert it into list. That you can do it, but just writing list within bracket this one range, then you will get the complete list of elements. Now you will get 10, 20 up to 90. Last element will not be taken. Now, if you want to write it from -10 to 10 with a step size of 1, then you have to write starting element, last elements, and with a step size 1. Then it will give you like this. This is a very important concept regarding Pythons, because in many codes we use this particular technique in solving the problems where some looping actions are required or for generation of numbers are required. Suppose I want to create calculate value of x in the range 0 to 5 such that x values square of the x values is required for me. So I will write a syntax like this. Better I give the example in a different way. Suppose you have come across that if I write list within bracket range 0 to 5, it is giving me the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to take the square of all these elements. So what actually we want to do, if I write a for loop,
excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir, that list you are giving start, stop, and step. So, like at the first example, you have given stop at 100, right? So it come up to 90. So why? And
yes,
next also
last
same.
element will not be. Yes, carry on.
Last, yeah. So why last element is not coming? Why it is stop just before of last element?
So if you want to take suppose up to 100, then you make little modification here. Oh, this one. So you write it like this way. You take 110. If you suppose you think that, sorry, this is not this one. Yes, 100 is coming. So you have to manipulate that way, because you have to keep it in mind the last element will not be taken. So, but the last element 100 is important. So you just make it modification something like this. Stop plus step. This is some sort of techniques we apply in coding. That is, if the last element is also important for me, and if the last element is not taken, the last element make it last element plus step. Then last element will come into the picture.
Okay, sir. That means it is a by default. That means it will not
Yes,
take
yes,
that last element.
Last element will not be taken. So you can make a little trick. You can make a little trick. The last element is the last element plus step. Then last element will come into the picture. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, say this list comprehension. So for these demonstrations, I just write it like this way. For x in range 0 to 5. Okay. Before that, I want to make a list, empty list. Say any list. Suppose square is an empty list. For x in range 0 to 5, I create my list this way: square dot, sorry, so what does it happen? X is taking the first value 0. It will calculate x square, that is 0 square, and it will be put into the list square. Next element, it will take 1. It will be calculated 1 square, and it will be put into the list square. Next, it will take 2. It will take 2 square, and it will put into the list square. So this is how list will be completed. So after this, I make a print statement. See, you have got it. The 0 to 5 means it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 square 0, 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16. I told you 5 will not be taken. So you have created a empty list square, and you have done this particular this one, and you have got it 0, 1, 9 like this. Now this particular code you can write in this way also. L1, it is a list like this. Instead of L1, I can write it, because in just maintaining the continuity, I can write it square, suppose. So you are writing this code. What do you want? Square the element, x square. What value x will take? X will take values in the range 0 to 5. So if you write this simple code, x square, for x in range 0 to 5, it will give you the same answer. So you have created a list like this. That's why it is called list comprehension. List comprehension, that is creating a list using for loops. It is very, very important concept. In many ways, it is helpful in writing some codes. I think this is clear for you. Okay, next, suppose I have a string called hello world, and I want to check type as. That means that will definitely give me the string kind of answer. Now, if I want to write, create a variable, say s2, and if I write list s, what will be the answer? It will give me all the letters from H up to D. This will give me the answers like this. Now, if I want to sort the letters, if I give s2 dot sort, then this will sort the elements this way also. So these are some of the operations regarding lists. Now, this part I've also already discussed. I can create an empty list and I can put on elements. So this already had been discussed. I have also said how you can modify the list. Already you have a list, then you can modify it. So I'm not going to discuss it. This has been done. Oh, now one participant asked me how to remove elements from a list. Because they.
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the simple way. So you have a list called vowels, and vowels are A, B, E, I, O, U, W. It has been written, but B is not a vowel. It is a mistake. isn't? So I want to remove it. So how to remove? I will write vowels dot remove B. Okay. Or it can be done this way also. Del, this list is vowels. 5, why I have written 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, forget it. I am coming one by one. Okay, first take this one. I want to remove B and then see what happens. You see, initially your list was A, B. There, you want to remove B. What you have written? Vowels dot remove B, and then you have printed. You don't find B here. B has been removed. So by writing this sentence syntax, you can remove an element from the list. Got it?
Okay, sir.
List dot remove. Write the element that you want to remove from the list. Simple. There is another way you can do it. You say W is not also a vowel. W is not also a vowel. I want to remove it from the list. So what I will do? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Subhida, hello.
Yes.
There
Hello?
is an announcement for everyone. So this session will last. That means this session will end within 3 minutes. So I have already emailed the details. Okay. So you have to again rejoin. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So because they say 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This in the new list, your W is in the 5th positions. So you write del vowels 5. W index is vowels index number 5. So del means it will be removed. So now you see. Yes, W has gone. So either by this command dot remove or by del element which you want to remove, you can remove an element from the list. All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So this is also, you can try it out. There is another way you can remove the elements, that is by pop. That is list dot pop, nothing inside this first bracket. That means it will eliminate the last element. And within the bracket, if you write the index position, dot pop index position, suppose this is a leap years, 2001 is not the leap year. So if you write pop 1, so it will be removed. Or whatever you want to remove, just like this way. So there are 3 ways you can remove: by writing a dot remove, or del index, particular index, or dot pop. So you can use any one of them as you like. So we will be going out of connections for a couple of minutes, and there are 2 important things coming on the way, that is called tuples and dictionaries. So I think I have given a solid background about the lists. So if you understand lists, then tuple will be very simple kind of things. What is the fundamental difference between list and tuple is that tuple is also a kind of list, but you cannot modify, you cannot change, or you cannot make any kind of access to the tuples for modification purpose. That is why it is called immutable. List you can modify, you can add elements into the list, but tuples, once it is created, that you can do. For example, if you record the coordinate of a point in a coordinate space, and if it comes out to be 214, definitely you don't want the record should be appended, or it should be modified by anyone. So what you will do, instead of writing it as list with square bracket, you write it coordinate within first bracket 214, and once you write it, this list, which is called tuples, that cannot be modified. Write it. So it is giving coordinates 214, and it belongs to the class tuple. So this is the fundamental difference between tuple and lists. I think you understand it. And tuples